schedule, we thought that's kind of a nice little ACC SEC matchup, and since the 2006 start of that season, look at the totals here.
Yeah, I mean, and this year 2-0, Florida beat Florida State and Vanderbilt beat North Carolina. So it's hard to tell. That if you played every single game, this is not an indication that one league is better than another league. It's just some information, because what happens is during the course of the season, both, you have to play a round-robin situation to make those kinds of things, draw any conclusions from them.
10-4 Miami here in the early going. Zach Graham on the pull-up in the lane, no good. Rebound goes to Ryan Brown of the Hurricanes, and he saved it inbounds to the graduate student Adrian Thomas, who's in the lineup tonight.
Sixth year at Miami. He must be getting bored of the speeches from the coaches, I can tell you that.
Adrian Thomas wastes no time, a 3-ball on target.
That's his deal. Led the league last year in percentage. Every basket that he has made, save one this year, has been a 3-point shot.
Stedman short for the Rebels.
The zone has been the type of zone that is effective because it stretches out. They are really going way high on the shooters. That leaves dribble penetration and pass penetration available.
DeMarco Cox tried to battle inside, surrounded by Hurricanes, and DeQuan Jones comes down with it. Scott leads for Reggie Johnson, who lays it in.
Gotta love it. Right now, at the center position, you have 42 Reggie Scott and 42 Cox. Together, 600 pounds. So take a look at those two guys. They will be banging against one another. Man-to-man for the Canes right here.
And the freshman Ryan Brown called for the foul.
Well, Durant Scott has great vision. You can see his head is up here. He waits for Reggie to clear, and the big guy running the floor gets rewarded. When you're a point guard and your big people run the floor, you want to make sure you get it to them, because if you don't, they will stop running, and then you won't have many fast break baskets. Nice combination between those two.
Dundrekus Nelson, number 5, into the lineup for Ole Miss.
Freshman, big-time scorer out of high school.
Buckner had it stolen by Thomas. This Miami zone, Bob, has been giving Ole Miss all kinds of problems early. Thomas with another triple.
And he's got the backup run going.
Adrian Thomas off the bench, back-to-back threes, and an 18-4 Miami lead, and Andy Kennedy forced into another timeout.
Role playing. What is your role on the team? Adrian Thomas knows his. Better look him up in the scouting report, guys. Action.
As another University of Miami alum, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson used to say, know your role. And Adrian Thomas does.
Well, he does. As I mentioned, he led the ACC last year from three-point land, 42%. Ole Miss is really struggling against the zone right now. They don't seem to have any concept of what they're trying to do. And I think Miami's changing of their defenses has made that happen. Frank Haith scouts his opponents, decides what might be best. Andy Kennedy now has to make some adjustments. Here's the three-quarter court trap. Scott is out, so the point not as tall with Malcolm Grant there. Easier to attack this group.
Henry inside, nice reverse with the left hand.
That's only the second time they've gone down the floor and made good plays against the press.
First basket for Terrence Henry, and it's back to a 12-point game. Grant on the drive, high off the window. Reggie Johnson patiently lays it in.
Reggie Johnson.
He has been unbelievably consistent in the games this year. They've played 6 games, and he's had either 12, 11, or 14 points in every single game. Not 20 in one and 4 in another. Very consistent.
Nick Williams drills a 3. He started 29 games as a freshman at Indiana before he transferred.
He's a big-time player. There's no doubt about that. Williams got caught up in the coaching change.
Adrian Thomas, and DeQuan Jones tried to make a highlight show all of his own. Forget the reel. He wanted his own show. Williams on a drive, took a bump, no call. Rebound, Buckner is fouled. Let's see if they count the basket. Foul is on Adrian Thomas. It looks like it's going to be a 3-point opportunity for Buckner. When we come back, it's 20-9, Miami. Under 12 minutes to go in the first half in Coral Gables, 20-9 Miami. The last basket was not counted, and instead Reginald Buckner will go to the line for a couple of free throws. Let's take a look at tonight's Southeast Toyota trivia question. Ole Miss have been called a Rebel since 1936. What was their original nickname? Wow, I think that's a toughie, Bob. Off the top of my head, I don't have it. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, Reginald Buckner, number 2 at the free throw line, is a stellar shot block artist, and he has not had opportunity so far in this game. Those are his numbers on the season. He's not a big part of the offense, but defensively, very, very big. Last year when Ole Miss played Mississippi State, Bernardo, the leading shot blocker in the country, played at Mississippi State, and those guys were swatting things everywhere. Look for full court pressure on the part of Ole Miss. They got to try to increase the tempo here. You can see they're picking up in the backcourt right now.
Buckner missed them both. He averages 3.5 blocks a game, so as you mentioned, Bob, that's his strength at the defensive end. Ryan Brown with a pull-up from 16, skims off the iron. Reggie Johnson, no call. Batted out of bounds, belongs to Miami.
Well, you see Buckner involved in that one. That was a 2-2-1 zone press. And what happens in that press, you put your best shot blocker in the back of the zone, and he protects the basket, which Buckner is very capable of doing.
He's already, as a sophomore, 3rd on Ole Miss's all-time shot block list.
Yeah, in the 70s, right?
Durant Scott back in for the Hurricanes. He and Malcolm Grant will work the backcourt. Grant tried to drop it off to Johnson, rescued by Adams, who fires a 3 and hits.
Well, I was talking to the Ole Miss coaches before the game, and they were very concerned about Miami's three-point shooting. When a team makes 10.5 like they did in their last game, that gets people's attention. So far, not guarding it that well.
Here's Warren, the senior, preseason All-SEC. Nick Williams. Warren behind a Williams screen. Now Graham to the baseline, cut off by Adams.
Notice how far they're extending this defense. You got to put it on the floor when that happens. Zach Graham did a great job there. Miami's extending the defense, so even though it's a zone, you play against it like it's man-to-man. You can't just pass the ball around the perimeter thinking like you're going to get a shot.
Let's take another look at Zach Graham, the senior out of Sewanee, Georgia.
Put the ball on the floor against the zone when the zone is extended, and you can get into the gaps. Zach Graham can do that. He has been a starter. He gets starters minutes. Guy averages over 13 a game. Had 16 against Dayton, 22 against Murray State. Only had 4 against Penn State. So this guy is very, very capable of being that guy that you want off the bench that comes in and scores.
Terrence Henry charged with the last foul. He's got 2. Here's Johnson inside against Buckner, uses the rim and gets the reverse.
Educated in the geography of the lane is Reggie.
25-11 Hurricanes. Trevor Gaskins back in for Ole Miss.
Trapping out of the zone now when the ball is on the sideline. Shot clock gets down all the way to the teens when you do that action.
There's Nick Williams. Fakes, fires from 16, won't go. Rebound, Buckner, no. Tapped out to Malcolm Grant. Hurricanes on the run.
They got numbers.
Darius Adams finds Johnson down low, count it, and 1.
How about the big guy running goal to goal? Woo! 2 years ago, he couldn't make that in 20 minutes. And now he's getting up and down the floor like a big man should. And his teammates are looking for him. Watch this now. He's under the goal. The guards take off. The Rabbits are running. And right here, he times it, goes right down the middle. His man doesn't run as fast. Very, very impressive indeed for Reggie Johnson.
Cannot complete the three-point play. The Canes still have their largest lead at 27-11. And Bob, I was going to say, coming up at halftime, we're going to have a nice feature on Reggie Johnson about the weight loss and about his very interesting off-season where he went over to China with a group of U.S. collegians to play some games.
Look forward to that.
Hurricanes with their biggest lead at 16. Durant Scott. Ball tapped away into the backcourt by Williams, but rescued by Grant. No backcourt violation. It was Williams who knocked it into the Miami backcourt. 15 on the shot clock. Grant with the pull-up, no. Reggie Johnson, another rebound for the Hurricanes. Into the corner, Adrian Thomas. If it's three, it's me, Adrian Thomas, his third of the night.
Reggie Johnson made that pass. What a great play. Triple teamed in the post, makes the pass back out. Great stuff.
Out of the corner, firing away, Graham won't go. Durant Scott, 3-on-2.
They've got numbers.
Grant dropped it off for Scott, who lays it in.
Kennedy needs a timeout. They are discombobulated right now. Everything going right for the guys in the white.
32-11, Warren with a three. Tipped up, no. Next rebound, big battle. Durant Scott away with it. His pass into the lane, but a foul against Ole Miss. And Andy Kennedy on the left sideline to us just has a look of consternation on his face, Bob, that he's not really sure what to do right now.
Well, he tried to set up 2 threes for Chris Warren on set plays against the zone, and he came up empty. Right now, they have no balance outside, inside. They're getting back slowly, and Miami taking advantage of it.
Malcolm Grant, three off the back iron. Gamble tried to keep it alive, did so to Adams, who lost the handle. It'll stay with Miami.
Well, Miami's clearly out-hustling the Rebels in this game. They got off to a great start. Ole Miss looks a little stunned here, frankly. I'm surprised because they've played in big games. They played at Kentucky. They played, a lot of these players have done terrific jobs against quality opponents. And right now, nothing happening for Ole Miss. Frequent substitutions by Frank Haith right now. Scott goes out for the second time in the first half.
Ryan Brown, number 15, the freshman, will trigger it in. Miami already with 6 offensive rebounds, and that was one of Frank Haith's keys talking today, transition defense and offensive rebounding.
Well, Ole Miss's transition defense has been abysmal so far in this game. Fast break very much part of this big run for Miami.
Past the 8-minute mark here in the first half. And Donovan Kirk called for steps. We have a timeout on the floor. 7:54 remaining in half number 1 at Coral Gables. Canes lead it by 21. A very surprising first half in Coral Gables. On paper, evenly matched teams, but the Hurricanes lead Ole Miss by 21. Let's take a look at the answer to our Toyota trivia question. Ole Miss has been called the Rebels since 1936. What was their original nickname? Bob, I got no clue on this one.
Well, it wasn't the bald-headed guys, I know that.
How about the Rivermen? The Mississippi, I was close, the Mississippi Flood. Oh my. And of course their mascot for the longest time was Colonel Reb, but it was been changed. It's now the Rebel Black Bear after the students voted for Admiral Akbar and the administration said, no.
Don't think so.
How about Black Bear? I love the Grove attire, the suit coat and the tie. That's great for all the pregame parties in the Grove, which is famous at Mississippi and Oxford as one of the best pregame atmospheres anywhere in college sports. Stedman Short hits a turnaround jumper to at least stop the bleeding. 32-13 Hurricanes. And a foul called on Nick Williams.
Well, Miami statistically, as you would expect, great in this game. 14 of 24 from the field. That's 58%, and 4 of 8 from three-point range. In three-point range, whenever you're in the 40s, that's spectacular. 35, 36 is what you really want. Anything better than that, and you're doing really well. It's like shooting 50% of twos when you're at that juncture. So Miami has very good balance in this game so far in their offense.
Donovan Kirk in a high post, now Garius Adams. Grant swings it to Brown. Kirk trying to work inside, had it knocked away. It'll stay with the Miami Hurricanes. Fans, log on to FoxSportsFlorida.com for interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, and analysis of all your favorite Florida sports teams. It's coverage you won't get anywhere else, and it's on FoxSportsFlorida.com.
If I'm Andy Kennedy in a timeout, I'm going to tell my guys that we have not, there's only 2 free throws so far for Miami. That means that we're not playing close enough to even foul them enough. So get up in their grill, because right now this passive defense by Ole Miss is not working very well at all.
Nelson hooks a pass to Short, 18-footer on the back iron, and the rebound to Gamble.
Nobody on the boards right there because Buckner is out of the game. No big guys in the game.